All right, Jeff here. Welcome back. Interesting little day today, I thought. Catch me off guard. Got some VCLT. Um, I was kind of sort of expecting this eventually, only because of an interaction online, but never thought it had gotten to the point where it would happen yet because there's been no exchanging of addresses or any follow up or anything like that that I knew of till today. So I get home. There was one package I knew had been delivered. Just some stuff I'll show you that I got from Discogs. Nothing major, but some things that I've filled some holes with that were really inexpensive. But then this other package came, and the return address, it said Beth on it. I'm like, well, I mean, I know Beth from B-Side Records, but again, wasn't sure. At first, I was kind of confused, not sure what am I getting because I don't remember ever finalizing or whatever. Anyway, I kind of had an idea, but I was kind of caught off guard. That and the fact that it had been such a short amount of time. So it started last weekend. Eric Weinbender had posted some VCLT that he got, and he got some soundtrack grails. And I just commented and said, oh man, that's some really cool stuff. Of course, and one of the grail soundtrack grails that I have is Phantom of the Paradise. It's a not so well known movie by Brian De Palma from 1974, but I saw it back then about 6 times or so in the theater. Um, and it was always a favorite of mine. And I had the DVD years ago, bought it years ago, and the CD. Anyway, so Beth had popped up, commented on my comment, said, hey, I know of a store in town that has a copy in good shape. I'll check it out and see if it's still there, and et cetera, et cetera. And I said, oh, that'd be great. Anyway, that's really the last I heard. Unbeknownst to me, some reason, there was some more conversation added later. I was even tagged in it, and I don't recall ever seeing it pop up in my messages. So I was totally oblivious of the follow-up where she said, I got it on hold. I'm going to go check it out. And then she asked me for information for me, and I didn't respond. Probably thought I was brushing off. I don't know. And I saw it today when I went back to look at the original conversation. Anyway, on top of that, last week after I was talked to them about that, I thought, I have the DVD of the movie. There's been a Blu-ray release since then with a bunch of bonus footage and stuff. And so I looked it up, and I didn't do anything immediately, but I went ahead and ordered the Blu-ray of this movie to replace the DVD that I've had for years. Well, lo and behold, I get a package today from Beth, and I get a package today from Amazon. So that's just been a Phantom day. So I received it. Phantom of the Paradise, the soundtrack. The soundtrack is made up of a bunch of different songs because the movie is a musical, kind of like Rocky Horror Picture. It's one of those type of things where it's kind of quirky from the 70s. Music ranges everywhere from like Beach Boys type stuff into a hard rock feel of that day. So it's got a variety of that and some ballads and stuff. But it's always been, because a favorite movie of mine, all the songs in it, being it's a musical, were always favorites too. So like I said, I've had the DVD, the CD for years and years because it's just, I like it. And so it's just great to have it on vinyl. And then when I opened it up and looked at it, oh my gosh. Now, she said there was two of them. She grabbed the better of the two, but I don't know. Did anybody ever play this? It's on the A&M there. That is just like more than very good, very good, plus, plus, plus. But I haven't put it on yet because I'm so excited I want to go ahead and make this video. And then, lo and behold, I open my Amazon package, and here's the Blu-ray. It's actually a Blu-ray DVD set, only because the Blu-ray is the movie and the DVD is the bonus footage. It's got like hours and hours of interviews from the people in this day and age. But anyway, it's up to date, the people and where they are now, just kind of talking about the movie. Everybody from Brian De Palma down to it has Paul Williams. He's a singer and actor and all that from back in the day. And Jessica, there's some other people in here that I don't think they are real familiar to people, but it's just a cool movie, I think. It's cheesy, and some people might think it's kind of a parody of Phantom of the Paradise, Phantom of the Opera guy with the mask. General idea is he gets damaged, he writes music, gets damaged in the face, puts on a Darth Vader looking suit, which by the way came out before Star Wars. So even they made a comment in the commentary about how they wonder did George Lucas see this movie and get the idea for Darth Vader because he wears all black and he's got this voice box and his voice is all distorted. Anyway, interesting movie. I'll probably have already inserted some clips, or we'll insert some clips from it in here. So anyway, this is great. While I was eating, I watched the commentary stuff and the bonus stuff on here, but not the actual Blu-ray edition of the movie. And then I want to put this on at some point, just to hear the love of it on vinyl. I found reissued on vinyl in 2014, 15, 16, 14, 2014, I think, on like a pink vinyl. I didn't know that. It was only 1,000 of them made. I haven't even tried to look up and see if those are still available. It's neat to have one of the originals from I believe this is one of the originals from the 1974s, in such good condition. But it might be one of those things where it'd be neat to get one eventually if I could track one down, on the pink vinyl. Anyway, I mean, the records themselves are not real expensive, but it's that hunt. You want to find it kind of out there in the wild rather than just going on Discogs and ordering it. And a lot of times, because the movie was fairly popular overseas, you tend to find a lot of them overseas, and they're harder to get the shipping and everything. So it's really neat that Beth was able to actually find one locally, and it was in really great condition. So the other package I got is 1/3 mainstream, 2/3 Christian releases. First off, copy of Headhunter by Crocus. I think most everybody's favorite Crocus album. I know it's one of mine. I think this is actually probably where I really discovered them. 1983. They had a bunch of good albums out before this. They've been around since the 70s. This was the album that MTV had. This was the album that was playing songs on MTV. Saw them on this tour. I think they opened for I want to say either Def Leppard or Quiet Riot, but saw them on tour. Loved them back in the day. Went back and had their prior catalog, and then it seemed like from here on out they got a little more commercial, as record labels tend to push you to do that. They had the Blitz and stuff, which I showed a couple of weeks ago that I picked up another copy of that. So this is just an addition to my Crocus catalog, and like I said, this is probably the one that is still my favorite. And then this is the main thing that drew me to this popped up in my, hey, you might be interested in this, my wish list. But that's Can't Stand Too Tall by Rick Kua. And I think actually Dolph and Dale showed this the other day, and I'm like, hey, I just ordered that. But it popped up I had it in my want list. It popped up for just a couple dollars. And so I'm like, oh, cool. And then I went to the guy's page, and it says other things that you would want that were also on my wish list. Crocus popped up. And this other one. Rick Kua is a contemporary Christian, kind of rock, kind of hard rock. He's a bass player, used to play for the Outlaws, became a Christian, went solo, did this stuff. I think he's played with some other bands too. But he was into that southern rock stuff back in the day. And this is a great album. The one that I really want to get right around this time is Colors. One prior to this. But these two were where he really came to a head when it came, he got really a little more rocky than some of the previous ones, which were a little more they were rock, but these were a little more harder edged. And so glad to have this. It is in fantastic condition, just as Crocus. The guy definitely was conservative in his marks, because you never know what to get. But these are, in my opinion, like VG++. He marked them as whatever, very good plus. They're really, really clean. Amy Grant, straight ahead. Now, I don't know, why am I getting a bunch of Amy Grant albums? I've been picking up stuff. Back when I first kind of started getting my act together and rededicated my life to following the Lord and stuff, and changed music opinions, got rid of all the secular heavy metal that I was listening to at the time, there wasn't a whole lot of Christian metal. I mean, we're talking 85, 86. We're talking, Stryper was just coming out, and you started having some of the littler bands they were popping up, like Saint and Leviticus and Barren Cross, and all of them were coming around, Bloodgood. But it was a growing thing. So to fill in the gaps, you listen to a lot of contemporary rock. And Amy Grant was one of those pop things back in the day that everybody was listening to. Unguarded had just come out. That was her crossover album. My roommate listened to a lot of that. So when I was in the military, my roommate listened to Amy Grant, so I listened to Amy Grant, and I got to really enjoy her stuff. The Unguarded, like I said, I used to play drums to that all the time. But then you back up a couple, and you've got Straight Ahead and Age to Age is another one that I want to get that I keep seeing copies of, but are always usually pretty mangled. I found one the other day, and it looked beautiful, and then opened up and had like a big scratch across. I'm like, well, thanks. But Straight Ahead is, where do you hide your heart? There were some videos from this back in the day. Angels Are Watching Over Me. And so this was one of the ones that I always gravitated to. This, Unguarded, and Age to Age. And so those are the ones I really want to get. I have Unguarded. Now I have this one. I still want to get Age to Age. And then I have quite a few of her older ones when she was even younger. But anyway, so I got this because it was very inexpensive. One of these was like, the guy had for like $2 or $1.50 or something. Anyway, so that was it. Two Christians in that, and then the VCLT. Beth, thank you so much for that. It was interesting because I think I'd noticed on Eric's thing, I said, hey, yeah, I think Beth showed a copy of this. Somebody sent her a copy of that, the Phantom of the Paradise, just a couple weeks before. So then I mentioned it, and she said she could find another copy. So I am so appreciative. That's it's just great to get something kind of unexpected like that. I sure hope it didn't cost much. But it's a wonderful album, and I just cannot believe the shape it's in. It just looks so clean. I am looking forward to spinning that again. That is going to be so cool. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining, and like and subscribe and do all that stuff. And thanks a lot for paying attention, and rock on.